BTS attributes, assigned to. Here we come to the very important concept of the bug owner. The bug owner is the person responsible for the next step towards the bug closure. The assigned to drop-down menu is needed to specify an alias of the bug owner. When filing a bug, the tester should always select from assigned to. A, the alias of the appropriate developer, for example, Billy, or B, the tester's own alias. A, how do you know who the appropriate developer is? In the majority of cases, it's the developer who wrote the buggy code. But what if he has left the company or moved to another team inside development, so he is not responsible anymore for fixing that particular bug? In that case, we take our business to either the person currently responsible for that functional area, for example, search, or to the person inside development who would reassign the bug to an appropriate developer. That person is usually the dev manager. The logical question is this: how do we get information about current responsibilities? You can ask questions and get answers, but it's not the best solution here. The best solution is to create and maintain two very important documents: who does what and who owns what. Needless to say, these documents should be posted on the company wiki. By the way, you can find templates for these and other documents in Template section of our course. Who does what relates to current projects. Here is an example. Who owns what relates to areas of expertise. Here is an example. It's critical to keep these two documents up to date and fill them up with the correct info. If a company consists of 3 persons, it's more or less clear who does what and who owns what. But once a startup begins to grow, there are more people, more projects, more communication, and more miscommunication, more things to do, more information to digest, etc. It becomes very important to have centralized sources of information about current projects and areas of expertise. It's not only about the assigned to attribute, it's about keeping track of things and knowing where to go for help. We strongly recommend both of these documents. B. In some cases, the tester has no idea who will be fixing the bug, but that no idea should not prevent the tester from filing the bug report. The tester just needs to select his own name from the assigned to list, file the bug, and then find out who is responsible for fixing the bug. There is often a situation where, on a daily basis, the dev manager would simply go through the list of freshly filed bugs assigned to testers and change the assigned to values to the names of the appropriate developers. Below are several by the ways related to assigned to. By the way, it's normal practice for programmers to file bugs against himself. By the way, in some cases, programmers play ping pong with bugs by reassigning bugs to each other with comments like, "This is not my bug," "Nope, it's your bug," "No, it's your bug," "No, you should fix it," etc. The result of this game is always a delay in bug fixes. BTS attributes assigned by. The value of assigned by is the alias of the person who assigned the bug to its current owner. As is the case with submitted by, this is an automatically populated attribute. This attribute's value is not editable. BTS attributes verifier. The verifier is a drop-down menu with the same list of aliases as assigned to. The verifier is the person who must regress the bug once it is fixed. By default, the value of the verifier is the alias of the person who filed the bug, submitted by. Remember, a bug can be filed by anyone who has an account in the BTS and a bug filing privilege, for example, by the PM. Of course, it's not the responsibility of the PM to regress the bug, so if the PM or another non-tester files a bug, then that person simply selects the tester alias from the verifier drop-down menu and lives happily ever after without thinking about the bug fix verification. By the way, that happily ever after can be disturbed because sometimes a bug is returned to the bug filer, for example, if the assigned developer cannot reproduce the bug. By the way, every account in a professional BTS usually belongs to a concrete group. As a rule, there are at least 3 groups: testers, programmers, Others. Each group is associated with a set of privileges. For example, as a rule, only the person who belongs to the testers group can close bugs. BTS Attributes Component. As a rule, this is a drop-down menu with a list of functional areas of the website. For example, at ShareLane, we have the list of components: registration, search, shopping cart, checkout, other. The benefit of having this attribute is that we can sort bugs by their component value. BTS Attributes Found On. This is a drop-down menu with a list of the environments where the bug was found. At ShareLane, we also added spec to the list for spec bugs: production, main.sharelane.com, old.sharelane.com, other environment, spec. Of course, the worst thing is when a bug is found in production. Here are the benefits of having this attribute. It's clear where to reproduce the bug. Bugs can be sorted by found on values. BTS Attributes Version. This is the release version of the environment where the bug was found. For example, if the application version is 1.0, 23/34, we put 1.0. BTS Attributes Build. This refers to the build number of the environment where the bug was found. For example, if the application version is 1.023/34, we put 23. BTS Attributes DB. The DB schema version of the environment where the bug was found. For example, if the application version is 1.023/34, we put 34. BTS Attributes Comments. This is a text area with two main uses. 1. Comments about the bug itself. For example, we can specify additional info about steps to reproduce the bug. 2. Comments about bug-related actions. For example, developer may want to put some comments when he reassigns a bug to another developer. BTS Attributes Severity. This is a drop-down menu with values S1 to S4 inclusively. Severity is the magnitude of the bug's impact on the software. Severity is a technical characteristic. In order to determine severity, we must find a match between the severity category and the type of bug's impact. The document we use for this is Bug Severity Definitions. Here is an example of the document. Let's talk about severity in more detail. Severity S1, crash. This is a situation when a website is completely non-functional because of a software problem. Data loss usually happens in the following cases. 1. Data is lost halfway to the DB. 2. DB is populated with partial data. 3. Data is deleted from the DB. Example 1. A user submits his data via the registration form register.py, but the module db.lib.py has a bug in the function update and the data is not inserted into DB. Example 2. A good example is the situation when the first name column in the DB table users couldn't hold 51st plus character, while the first name text field allowed the user to type in 51 or more characters. Of course, this is an extreme example. Not many people have a first name with 51 plus characters. In reality, data loss of this type usually happens when a programmer allows an unreasonably small capacity for the DB column. For example, data type var char 5 holds only 5 characters. Example 3. Data can be deleted from the DB when the application core file mistakenly deletes, updates data. For example, in ShareLane version 2.0, we introduced the Update User Info functionality. Willie wrote buggy code that would update all the records in the DB table, users, instead of updating only one record. Precisely the record of the user who is changing his info. So a bug resulted in this situation. If a user changes his last name to Lee, the last name of every ShareLane user becomes Lee. By the way, bugs of this kind are another reason to set up daily DB backups in both the testing and production environments. Please note that data loss might not be related only to the DB. For example, because of the bug, the content in the log file can be overwritten with new lines instead of being appended with new lines. Security issue. Example: a website that accepts credit cards stopped using a secure connection between the web server and the web browser. As a result of this bug, unencrypted credit card data can be stolen. Severity S2. Site hangs. This is usually a performance issue. For example, it takes an unreasonably long time, for example, 15 seconds to load the web page. Blocking issue. The term blocking issue has a wide meaning. It refers to a bug that blocks 1. Development, 2. Testing, 3. Site usage. Example 1. Willie is supposed to write functionality A. Functionality A should use the Python classes from Billy's code. But as it appears, those classes have a number of serious design bugs. Therefore, it doesn't make sense to start working on functionality A until Billy has fixed those bugs. So Willie is blocked from coding. Example 2. Willie wrote functionality A, Billy wrote functionality B. B depends on A, but A doesn't work. Thus, tester Rajiv cannot test functionality B. In other words, Rajiv's testing is blocked. Example 3. Users are blocked from buying books on ShareLane because checkout doesn't work. A very important term that is associated with a blocking issue situation is workaround. For example, if the account creator, test portal, helpers, account creator, used by testers for automated account generation doesn't work, it's not an issue that blocks testing because new user accounts can be created manually. So, in that situation, manual account creation is a workaround. If there is a reasonable workaround, then an issue cannot be considered blocking. Severity S3. Functional issue. This category is for all functional bugs that don't fall under S1 or S2. It's no wonder that the majority of bugs will be S3. That's why S3 is, as a rule, the default severity when testers file a bug. Severity S4. Other. This includes all bugs that don't fall under S1, S2, or S3. As a rule, here you will find UI bugs, for example, layout problems, spelling, etc. Lesson recap. 1. Assigned to is required to specify the bug owner. Every open bug always has a bug owner. The bug owner is the person responsible for the next step in resolving the bug. 2. Assigned by is the alias of the person who assigned the bug to the current bug owner. 3. Verifier is the person who must verify the bug once it's fixed. 4. Component is the area where the bug was found. 5. Found on is the environment where bug was found. 6. Version is the version of the software where the bug was found. 7. Build is the build number of the software where the bug was found. 8. DB is the DB schema version of the software where the bug was found. 9. Comments are needed to provide additional info about the bug or about actions associated with the bug, etc. 10. Severity is about the bug's impact on the software.